depend on you just to feed our kids. Like, I'm sorry, just to feed our kids. And so for you guys to basically tell us you're not important, like it's not important for me to feed you or your kids, how dare you?
We are following breaking news tonight. The U.S. Supreme Court has weighed in on funding for federal food aid in the middle of the government shutdown as Democrats in Washington, D.C. propose a compromise to try to get the government running once again.
This is a reasonable offer that reopens the government, deals with health care affordability, and begins a process of negotiating.
Let's see what happens.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to West Coast Wrap. I'm Alex Savage. We are following late developments tonight from the U.S. Supreme Court. The High Court a short time ago granted the Trump administration's emergency appeal to temporarily block a court order to fully fund SNAP payments in the middle of the government shutdown. Earlier today, a federal appeals court declined to suspend court orders that require the administration to fully fund those SNAP payments. After that ruling, the Trump administration asked the Supreme Court to weigh in and take on the case. So far, we don't have any more explanation from the Supreme Court about how it reached its decision. And so far, we don't see any reaction coming tonight from the White House. We begin our coverage tonight with Fox 13's Shira Matsuzawa, who talked with a mother of three in Washington who is relieved to see that SNAP benefits were restored today.
I smiled the entire time.
An expression. Mom of three and full-time cybersecurity student Andronika Henry hasn't been able to do much of recently after losing her SNAP benefits. But on Thursday night, she got them back.
Definitely a weight lifted off of my shoulders.
We met up with her outside of Costco after she stocked up on things like chicken thighs, frozen fries, fruit, and snacks for her little ones.
Tried to think about all the things that I could extend past just this month, just in case. It's scary, to say the least, because you know somebody's gonna miss a meal. 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be you.
Andronika says she's part of the SNAP benefit program so she can focus on going to school and bettering her life to take care of her kids on her own. But when she heard those benefits had been paused, she says she knew she would have to quickly find a job.
The easiest one to get was Amazon, and I ended up getting an overnight shift
at grocery outlet in Everett.
Well, we've definitely seen an increase in people and customer count and the last recent days.
The shelves are stocked and rows of produce are on display. Owner Jerusha Sundem says they've seen a huge increase in shoppers wanting to stretch their dollar further or help supply food banks. This is video of 10 pallets of food sent to the Volunteers of America.
It's very empowering to people to be able to put food on their families' tables.
As for Andronika, she tells Fox 13 while she's grateful to have those benefits back, she feels confused why the government shutdown has led to this.
We depend on you just to feed our kids. Like, I'm sorry, just to feed our kids. And so for you guys to basically tell us you're not important, like it's not important for me to feed you or your kids, how dare you? We're just trying to make it to tomorrow.
For Washington News Wrap, Shira Matsuzawa.
As we mentioned earlier, Democrats in Washington, D.C. say they do have a plan they believe can end the government shutdown. But Senate Majority Leader John Thune calls that proposal a non-starter. Minority Leader Chuck Schumer came forward with the plan on a day when we are seeing major developments in the longest-running government shutdown in history. Some people who rely on federal food aid are starting to receive their full SNAP benefits, as you saw there. While at the same time, the shutdown has led to more than 1,000 flights being canceled across the country because of a shortage of air traffic controllers. Minority Leader Schumer says the Democrats' proposal to end the shutdown would temporarily satisfy the party's demand that any deal include the expansion of expiring Obamacare subsidies. Schumer believes the plan is also a win for Republicans.
Democrats are ready to clear the way to quickly pass a government funding bill that includes health care affordability. Leader Thune just needs to add a clean one-year extension of the ACA tax credits to the CR so that we can immediately address rising health care costs. That's not a negotiation. It's an extension of current law, something we do all the time around here.
However, GOP leadership says that just won't work. Today, President Trump renewed calls for Republicans to scrap the filibuster, a longstanding Senate rule that requires 60 votes to pass most legislation.
I am totally in favor of terminating the filibuster, and we would be back to work within 10 minutes after that vote took place, and lots of other good things would happen. And it doesn't make any sense that a Republican would not want to do that.
Now, President Trump has faced some pushback on the idea of ending the filibuster from members of his own party. And as we mentioned, the shutdown is disrupting air travelers all across the country and here in the West.
It's really frustrating, especially for common people.
Definitely not a pleasant feeling, but yeah, I think in this situation we're kind of understanding of that.
Yes, delayed by 2 hours.
Today, major airports began reducing the number of flights in response to an FAA order designed to address that shortage of air traffic controllers. 40 airports across the country have been asked to reduce flights by 4% today. 13 of those airports are here in the West, and that includes Los Angeles International. This is a live look at the activity tonight at LAX. Fox 11's Nick Garcia spoke with travelers here at LAX who are trying to stay on schedule today.
Canceled flights, a top concern for people flying out of LAX Friday. Day one of the FAA's reduction in air traffic, the administration started with a 4% cut, but that will likely grow to 10%, or roughly 4,000 flights a day next week.
Concerned, yeah, they're supposed to start today, so, but so far so good.
It's been pretty harrowing just to try in terms of trying to find a way home potentially. But if that many flights have been canceled, I mean, what a mess. It's not sustainable, not one bit.
Micah Steinbach is flying home to Houston. He says he dealt with delays earlier this week before the reduction in flights.
Coming here, I was in TSA for 5 hours. Almost missed my flight. Luckily, I have a friend who is a pilot and he warned me about it, but everyone around me hadn't been warned about it, and pretty much everybody had missed their flights, had to reschedule.
That experience has him feeling a bit nervous.
It hasn't been canceled yet, so as long as that doesn't happen, I'm okay.
Have you got a backup plan already? Or?
Sleep in the airport.
He's not the only one mentally preparing for a cancellation.
We'll be driving.
Yeah.
Show me rental cars. You'll be driving.
FlightAware's misery map showing a whole lot of red. More than 4,000 delayed U.S. flights and more than 1,000 canceled flights. Nick Garcia, Fox 11 News.
And you can use our website, westcoastwrap.com, to stay up to date on the latest developments in the ongoing government shutdown. Some of what you'll find online is a breakdown of how the shutdown is prompting the cancellation of Veterans Day events as we head toward next week. The mother of a missing 9-year-old California girl is under arrest tonight on unrelated charges. The Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office says 40-year-old Ashley Buzzard is being held on charges of false imprisonment. Her daughter, Melody Buzzard, has not been seen since October 9th. Authorities have said Melody's mother is not cooperating with detectives in this missing persons case. The family lives in Lompoc, but investigators now say that Melody was last seen near the Colorado-Utah border during a multi-state trip with her mother. Coming up tonight here on West Coast Wrap, first responders hoping you will learn a lesson from one driver's bad decision in Colorado. Tonight, see how that decision put the driver as well as firefighters in harm's way.
On this Friday evening, let's head to Las Vegas, where currently we have clear skies, a high temperature today of 77 degrees. We got the weekend forecast with your West Coast Wrap forecast.
Run around the world. How cool is that?
Also coming up tonight, 7 marathons on 7 continents in 7 days. We will introduce you to the 62-year-old teacher from California who is planning to make all of that a reality. First responders in Colorado are showing off video they say teaches a valuable lesson. A driver failed to yield yesterday as an Aurora Fire Department truck was heading to a medical emergency. The driver and the fire truck collided as the truck tried to make a U-turn. 3 firefighters suffered minor injuries. The truck and the driver's car have damage. The driver of the car was issued a summons. First responders stressed that drivers must yield to emergency vehicles using lights and sirens. In Arizona, a months-long operation targeting prostitution near Grand Canyon University has resulted in dozens of arrests. Operation New Beginnings is a joint effort between the university, Phoenix Police, the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, and the County Attorney's Office. Since August, 53 people have been arrested and charged with prostitution, including 15 just last night. Detectives also rescued an underage girl who they believe was being trafficked. A Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher is now revealing the heartbreaking reason why he did not play in this year's World Series. Alex Vesia shared today that his baby daughter, Sterling Soul, died on Sunday, October 26th. Vesia posted this photo on Instagram sharing the news. He says they cherished every second they had with her. The Vesias thanked hospital staff and their baseball family who showed up for them, and they say they were a great support. A man has died after falling over the edge at the Grand Canyon. The 65-year-old slipped near Guano Point. His body was recovered about 130 feet down in a pile of rocks. Crews with the Mojave County Sheriff's Office made a pulley system to retrieve the body. So far, the man has not been publicly identified. People in remote parts of Alaska are adjusting to a new life after their villages were decimated last month by a powerful typhoon. That storm crushed two low-lying villages in the western part of the state, sending hundreds of people to live in shelters and hotels in Anchorage. It's been a real adjustment as they are used to living off of the land, but for many survivors, they say it is time to move.
Every fall we have a flood. It might not be as extreme as this one was, but as the years have set in, we're seeing it. The climate warming is increasing the storms, and they're just getting worse and worse.
The state has said residents should plan on being away from their villages for at least the next 18 months. Turning now to our weather across the west, and a lot of people getting the weekend started with more rain in the Pacific Northwest. Images posted to social media show some of the showers hitting the Puget Sound area last night and into the early morning hours. For more, let's bring in KTVU meteorologist Roberta Gonzalez, who is tracking the conditions across the west and the chances for rain. Hey, Roberta.
Hi there, Alex. Yesterday, yes. Look at these rainfall totals in throughout the Seattle area, even Tacoma with over a half an inch of rain. And today, everything is now beginning to silence. It is quieting down. In fact, just outside of Olympia, we do have the sleet and the snow showers now beginning to dissipate around the Cascade Range as well. So a pretty decent weekend is shaping up in the Seattle, Washington area, where today's high temperature was 54 degrees. And you can see where the clouds began to break up. Average high temperature there's 51. In San Francisco, you should be at 66 degrees today. So pretty much spot on for this time of the year after the morning clouds lift. And check out Los Angeles. This is actually Santa Monica, just about 11 miles outside of downtown Los Angeles, where it was 80 degrees today. Average high temperature 74. It's typically 77 degrees in Phoenix, and boy, you've been riding a real warming trend there for about a week now at 85 degrees. So here's the deal. We certainly do have more storminess out over the open waters, but not a lot of precipitation. So we're drying out nicely and throughout the Pacific Northwest, banking all the way into that northwestern quadrant of the state of California, into the San Francisco Bay Area, and certainly encompassing all the way into Los Angeles and to Phoenix. Denver, no storminess there. In fact, you're going to be looking at a pretty decent weekend. We're talking about any kind of rain showers moving in will be by midweek of the upcoming week. This brand new area of low pressure is now poised and positioned to take an aim on the Pacific Northwest, and this is going to move in next week, perhaps about Tuesday, Wednesday, and then beginning to impact the San Francisco Bay Area. But that will not occur until about Thursday with rain and wind, and we're talking about a pretty significant system. So this is the weekend to plan outdoor activities around the West Coast and all the way into Denver and head to Phoenix before the weather really shifts dramatically. We're talking about temperatures all the way up into the mid-70s in the Bay Area. Again, typically this time of the year, the average high 66, so about 10 degrees above average. Look at Los Angeles. In throughout the basin here, we could see some temperature climb to the low 90s. You know those particular regions right around the Magic Mountain area. And Phoenix, you're going to top off at 91 degrees, while Seattle, you'll be dry until about Tuesday or Wednesday. Make it a great weekend, Alex.
All right, you do the same. Roberta, thank you. Well, this year's Grammy nominations are out, and leading the pack for the 2026 award show in Los Angeles are some past and future Super Bowl performers. Rapper Kendrick Lamar, who performed at the Super Bowl earlier this year, is leading the pack with 9 nominations. Lady Gaga is right behind him with 7 nominations. She performed at the Super Bowl back in 2017. And Bad Bunny, who is set to perform at the upcoming Super Bowl early next year in the Bay Area, got 6 nominations today. Kendrick, Lady Gaga, and Bad Bunny have all been nominated in the top 3 categories for Album, Record, and Song of the Year. The Grammy Awards ceremony is February 1st. That's just 1 week before the Super Bowl. Well, an elementary school teacher in Southern California is looking ahead to one of the biggest challenges of her life. She is planning to take part in the World Marathon Challenge. This event involves running 7 marathons on 7 continents in 7 days. Fox 5's Juliette Vara caught up with her as she trains.
Every single day, I'm up training. I'm running.
Whether that's running 5 miles a day or even 10.
Whatever it takes. And then I'm swimming and I'm biking and I'm doing yoga.
Every day, Poway Elementary School teacher Tracy Roth laces up and puts one foot in front of the other.
Do you ever get tired? I don't. I really don't.
Good thing, because she's going to need all the energy she can get. In 3 months, the 62-year-old pro marathon runner who's run about 150 marathons is taking on the biggest challenge, 7 marathons in 7 continents in 7 days.
I'm going to run around the world. How cool is that?
It's called the World Marathon Challenge, and this is a map of the route. It starts in Antarctica and ends in North America.
Fly on a cargo plane to Antarctica. We run a marathon in Antarctica, and that's when the clock begins for our 7 days. We fly back to on the cargo plane to South Africa, run that marathon, then we take a chartered plane the rest of the continents.
An incredible feat that seems impossible, especially for someone who didn't even call herself an athlete, let alone a runner, until she was 40 years old.
When I was growing up, I read books, I played with dolls, I was in Girl Scouts, but I didn't do anything athletic. And then as I got older, I would just go to the beach and hang out with my friends. I wasn't athletic. And for the very first time, I called myself an athlete. The second half of my life.
Tracy's newfound passion started after her mother, Carol, passed away of breast cancer 24 years ago. Looking for a way to move through her grief, she picked up an unlikely hobby.
And one of the teachers at my school said, why don't you start running? I'm like, I've never run before. She said, if you just put one step forward, one step at a time, you'll move forward and you'll feel better. And I just started running and running and running. And the more I ran, the more I wanted to run.
And before Tracy knew it, she was running forward into what she now calls her best life, supported by her husband and her devoted students at Tierra Bonita Elementary.
They are so excited for me. And then one of the students made me globe earrings.
She's encouraged by her eager cheerleading squad. Every step she takes.
Go, Mrs. Roth. We believe in you. All the luck in the world. You're the best.
That must mean the world to you.
It literally means the world to me.
Yeah. In Poway, I'm Juliette Vara.
Coming up tonight here on West Coast Wrap, AI at work in Nevada. Tonight, how it's changing the way that sneakers are made at one company. Also, we'll tell you about a rare shark encounter that happened in Oregon that led to the shark's life being saved. Tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is up to an estimated $843 million. If a single winner goes for the cash option, they would see a jackpot around $391 million. This marks the 9th largest jackpot in the history of the game. You can buy a Mega Millions ticket in all West Coast states with the exception of Alaska, Hawaii, Utah, and Nevada. A sneaker manufacturer in Nevada credits AI for transforming its business. Fox 5's Talia Kirkland shows us how the company uses the technology to complete a job that used to involve dozens of employees.
Take a look at this. This is the robot that's transforming shoe manufacturing. A job that once took 60 workers is now done in just minutes. It's fast. It's efficient.
From this screen, you can see the shoes.
It's AI technology, and it's making your shoes.
This production line on one shift will do 150,000 pairs a year.
Summit's Footwear Inc. is the first AI-powered, semi-automated sneaker factory in the nation, and it's located right here in Henderson, Nevada.
Las Vegas has always been known as a, casino industry, service-oriented business.
But CEO Scott Miller and the company's president Alan Lee say in the next decade they'd like to change that to include manufacturing.
By the next 3 to 5 years, we plan on 50 production lines with an output of 20 million pairs of shoes a year in Las Vegas.
So how does it work?
As you can see, there's no overspray of glue or anything of that nature.
Summit's production line relies on patented advanced automated technology and 3 robotic arms that ensures that the glue that secures the shoe sole is evenly dispersed, a task that was once done by hand, cutting a 60-person production line to just 10. Something Miller says allows the company to move workers into higher-paying salaried positions much faster.
We can train a worker within 1 week's time to get them to understand how to do production on sneakers.
With the global sneaker market projected to surpass $120 billion by next year, shoe brands face mounting pressure to localize production and shorten lead times. Summit's Footwear can do just that.
We would like to change it around and make it Shoe City. We'll make it shoe capital of the United States.
So the next time you put on your sneakers, just remember you'll know the technology behind how they're made. In Henderson, Nevada, I'm Taya Kirkland, Fox 5 News, local Las Vegas.
Well, President Trump's tariffs are starting to create more problems for California's wine industry. Import taxes on European wines are affecting wholesalers and Napa growers, and the winery owners say that operational costs also are increasing. They say a mix of higher labor costs, inflation, and now tariffs are making it more expensive than ever to run their businesses.
French oak barrels, the glass bottles, the cork, and then we've seen also like the consolidation, and so that affects maybe the labeling of the wine, as well as selling the wine. We've seen kind of the retaliatory tariffs.
It's very difficult to plan for the future when you're not sure what the tariff rate's going to be when the product arrives here.
Winemakers and importers say they're trying to absorb the extra cost to try to keep prices stable. Demand for wine was dropping even before the tariffs were put in place, and that was leading to lower profits. Finally, tonight, a woman in Oregon rescued a shark that was stuck in shallow waters.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what to do. Come on, big guy.
Quite the scene. Colleen Dunn was walking her dogs on a beach in Manzanita, Oregon, when she spotted a small salmon shark stranded in shallow waters as the ocean tides receded. Dunn says she was initially nervous about even touching the nearly 50-pound shark, but she grabbed it anyway and then ran it out into the ocean. After reaching the deeper water, the shark was able to swim off on its own. Nice job there. That does it for West Coast Wrap tonight. We appreciate you watching as always, and a quick reminder before we go to stay up to date on all the big stories we're covering across the West, including our coverage of the ongoing shutdown. Head to westcoastwrap.com for that. Have a great night and a great weekend.